mean, someone that passionate, they tend to, like, later on in life, tend to sort of turn in on themselves and shut everyone out, really. So I think that state of mind doesn't really contribute to you, like, getting better, really. You need people around you. If you're not in the best of health, but also, like, that creative as well, you feel like time's running out, so you kind of just want to get work done, basically, and that probably didn't help.
When you are passionate, like he was, about stuff that maybe, you know, your passions mean that you're not looking after yourself, that maybe you don't eat as well. I think maybe he drank. I'm not sure, I never saw him drink, but I imagined that he would be somebody who drank. Yeah, I guess in that way maybe it did contribute to his bad health, because he would always be thinking about other things, you know, not necessarily looking after himself, and I think he lived on his own.
I do think it contributed to his ill health, yes, but you know, what are you going to do?
I think undoubtedly. You know, I think when somebody puts 150% into what they do, I think that has a massive, massive detriment to someone's good health, really. But I think that's a good thing, because I think that if somebody didn't live their life to 150% of their ability, then why live anyway? So why not live 150% of your life on the 100% of the time that you're here, and have 50% bad health, but 100% enjoyment, and 150% statistics about it.
You know, it was only on this planet for one thing, you know, and that was himself. You know, that's what he cared about, and I think his writing, his poems, you know, when you read them, you kind of understand what it's about, and you do realize that he just doesn't give it. He didn't give a damn about anything, really. He wasn't looking for anything but tried to translate his emotions and feeling through his writing. Yeah.
Well, it probably contributed to his untold fucking drug abuse, you know, with everything up as a down, you know, and that affected him, his cock at some point, you know, whether it was ailing health or was it ailing cock, I don't know. But no, the passion was the drugs and the pussy and the anus, basically.
I think that was just something he needed to do as a person. You know, I think some people are born to paint, and some people are born to speak, and some people are born to write. And he was born to be a poet. So, you know, whether he loved it or not, he couldn't help himself. That's what he had to do.
You know, he could have been like David Beckham if fate had been different, you know, timing. Maybe if he'd been better at football.
I hope that Snickers on your knickers and not something else, my dear. Or is it just the smell of failure? The stench of my career thus far.
Yeah, he had a problem with that for a long time. You know, I did try and speak to him about it at one point, but he would deny it. It was a very difficult subject for him, because I think he was ashamed, but I think most people were aware of it, but just didn't know how to broach the subject. You know, how do you ask someone whether they're sniffing pants or not? Not an easy one, is it?
Yes, if I'm honest, I do remember some instances where he would sniff my knickers. At very unfortunate times, though. Of the month, I mean. like, you know, 3rd of March, 3rd of April. He knew I didn't like the number 3. He did it to tease me.
He was ravenous about running his tongue over the gusset and sniffing it, and many times we'd be at a nightclub, he'd say, I'll bet you 50 quid that you can't get her knickers off for me. So, you know, a few times I would say to the girl, you know, any chance, you know, my mate over there's, you know, give you 50 quid just for your knickers, nothing else. And lots of young girls in there, and half of them didn't wear knickers anyway, so it didn't mean anything to take them off and go to the toilet and slip them off. And sure as fuck, he gave him the 50 quid, give it to the girl, blah blah, he got his knickers, and straight away he'd be off to the fucking toilet. And he'd probably be in there about 10 minutes, maybe even half an hour. And he'd come walking out all surly looking, a bit pale faced looking, and looking for a line of coke, etc, etc. I said to him, was that good then? Yeah? He said, yeah, it was good, but you know, it was getting a bit dry, and tried to knock one out, and I said, so what did you do with the knickers? But that's when I found out he's got like a trunk. He's got a massive fucking trunk, or a garage somewhere full of knickers.
Just a mess, really. I've been in so many arguments with him and ladies in places where, you know, he's trying to, I don't know, what's the word, put across his preferences. So yeah, I kind of just had to smooth it over so many times. I just treated it as a joke. I didn't really take it that seriously. I don't know, maybe it's his idea of a really extreme sort of bit of comedy, but yeah, I kind of got into trouble a few times.
I know that he had a collection that he kept. Silver jars.
I came across a lot of things. Sometimes I would come across his ladies' knickers. Sometimes he would come across the knickers. It was never, we'd take it in turns in a way.
I thought he just used mine.
No, I didn't know about that.
I wouldn't say I was in love with him as such, but I was in bum love with him.
No, I was just fond of him. I liked him. You know, I went from thinking, ooh, dirty old git, to thinking, you know, he's quite sweet, really.
Absolutely.
No, I couldn't. I mean, we did get on, but definitely not. No.
Yeah, he's such an interesting, deep character that you do want to spend time with him and kind of try to get into his knickers.
I loved him like I loved other things at 13. I loved going to the park with my friends. I loved playing football, and in a way I loved Molly.
I think when I first met him, you know, I was young and I had a massive crush on him because he was just not like anyone I'd ever met before. So initially I was, and then the more I saw of him, you know, he kind of turned into a bit of a tragic character for me. But I still loved him, but I wasn't in love with him.
No, I might be in love with his character, but not intimately or sexually. But as his character, it's hard to find or meet another character like that, which shares slightly the same interest as in sexuality. I love sex, and he just loves anything with a hole, basically. Intimately, or whatever you want to call it, he just fucking innocent.
He felt lost of love.